All right. So since y'all didn't do y'all homework. All right. Well, look. Let's where Adrian said she don't remember what the homework was. So we'll do a quick recap about the homework. So y'all remember about what Tony Robbins said. We went through the 6 principles. We talked about states and goals. All right. So remember, y'all homework was to assess y'all last 12 months as it relates to.
Yes, that's what it was, and make your budget. Yes. I remember now.
Now, did you do it though? No, I did not do it. So how can I assist y'all with part 2 if y'all ain't do the homework for part 1?
You are correct. We are wrong in that.
Hey, look,
I can only make sure I do my homework.
And yes, I guess we're just gonna have to pick it up in a group coaching session. So do y'all homework, and then the next group coaching session that y'all hop on, then maybe we can do that.
I thought this was for this was the other thing.
What other thing?
Whatever maybe I didn't know this was a coaching session. I thought this was the build your business class or something.
It is. This is not a coaching, but a part 1 of the business planning class we did last week. Y'all were supposed to do this, so we could look at part 2.
Oh, okay.
So part 2 is a more practical part of it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to do it as soon as we get off because I'll get swarmed with other stuff. I have to make sure I do it because I don't like to not be prepared. I apologize for showing up ill prepared.
Hey, look, good. It is all good. It is all good. All right, but so all I'm saying is, since y'all don't have it now, and I can't kind of speak to you all specific situation.
So I can tell you a lot of this stuff, though.
You say you could tell me.
Yeah.
But this was just one part of it, right? So it was that. So you were gonna assess it. Then you're supposed to determine what you wanted it to be for the next 12 months.
Oh, okay.
You see? And then you're supposed to say what has stopped you from achieving that number in the past. So it was an opportunity for awareness to assess, right? Then to forecast, all right, this is what I want to do. So this is what I did. This is what I want to do. And before I begin moving forward in that vein, determine what stopped me from doing what I want to do this time so we can identify any prospective challenges or barriers to our success.
Okay.
Right? So that's what we were going to address. So I still want y'all to do that, and we'll just, pick it up in our group coaching. Because again, we're talking about planning, right? And as we talk about planning, then I want to be able to capitalize. All right, so Chelsea, you back. Hey, Chelsea. Chelsea. So what we're doing, Chelsea, is we're doing a recap. Oh, all right, gotcha. All right, so Chelsea, what we're doing is we're doing a recap from the last session. And I still want you all to be able to capitalize off of everything that we talked about in the last session. So I want y'all to do this exercise so we can work together on the group coaching to begin to prepare y'all for 2023. That's what I want. So I need y'all to write this down. Evans, I need you to write this down. I see that you're walking in the store. I don't know where are you? Where are you gonna go buy a car? What are you doing? All right, I need you to write this down.
Down.
Yeah, yeah, show us that. That's right. Yeah, short staff. All right. So this is what I need y'all to do. Number one, I need y'all to write down, and you can do this in your journal. Right? Evan's gonna be the first one asking me, what was my homework? All right, I need y'all to write down in your journal what was your annual gross commission income. So that includes leases, apartments, houses, buying, selling, all of that. Total it all up. What was that? And then I want you to total up what was your expenses as it relates to your real estate business. All right. So now you don't even necessarily have to break it up like it's broke up on this screen, but what was your real estate expenses, right? So that's marketing, that's, gas for going out and visiting, different locations, like all of your money that you spent as it relates to real estate in your business, right? So then you take that income minus that expense, and then that gives you your net. So you're either gonna have a positive number or a negative number. Meaning positive number, you made more than you spent, negative number, you spent more than you made. All right. So do that. And I don't care what it is, right? It could be zero, like you didn't make no money, but you still spent money, right? So that just means you're negative. That's okay. So that's the first thing I want you to do. Then after you do that, I want you to determine what you want the number to be in the next 12 months, meaning that net amount, right? So if you looked at the last 12 months and that number is, say, negative $1,000, but you want that number to be $50,000, meaning after you subtract how much income you made off commissions, and then how much money you spent as it relates to building your business, you want that net take home money to be 50 grand over the next 12 months. You may want it to be 100,000, right? Whatever it is, you determine what the number is that you want it to be. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is, I want you to reflect on your last 12 months and reflect on what stopped you from achieving that $50,000, right? You want it moving forward, but what stopped you from achieving that? So we can identify any barriers or challenges that we could bring attention to and awareness to, especially as we're doing our group coaching and our one-on-one coaching. Is something that brings it to the forefront, right? So those are three things as it relates to that exercise. Okay. Now this is also what y'all was supposed to do. Y'all was supposed to do this. So Adrian, I don't know if you were still on when we did this part about creating an achievable outcome. Were you still on for that part?
Okay. No.
Were you still on? Were you still on? Okay. So what you can do is, matter of fact, since you're determining what number you want it to be in the next 12 months, which is really a career goal, you can say that that's your outcome. Again, I'll use the 50,000. I want $50,000. I want to make $50,000 in net gross commissionable, net commissionable income. I want to make $50,000 in net income over the next 12 months. So that's the outcome. So that's an outcome as it relates to your career when it comes to the life wheel, right? All right, so that's a career outcome that I want. So no, where it says get the specific outcome. The specific outcome is I want 50 grand in commissionable income. That's the specific outcome. So then you answer this question. What will you see, hear, and feel when you have that $50,000? All right. So that's your outcome. And then it talks about making it compelling. Make it compelling. In NLP, we call it associate to the outcome. I got $50,000. What are you seeing when you have it? You see it in your bank account? Do you see it in the fact that on the app on your phone? Like, what is it that you're seeing when you have that outcome? What are you feeling when you had that outcome? What are you hearing? Like, is your family talking to you and congratulating you? Are you hearing your clients say how excited they were that they did business with you? You know, what is it that you're feeling when you have it? So use that outcome. And then you go through this sheet as it relates to that. The next one is find out your, you know, where are you now in relation to your outcome? Where are you now in relationship to having that $50,000? Where are you now in relationship to that, right? Is it that you don't have it? Is it that you don't physically have it, but you can see now through the transactions that you have in your pipeline, moving you closer towards that, right? And number 4, what will this outcome get or allow you to do? So like you can go through the questions. No, I need you to, you say you took a screenshot, Evans. All right, well, you took a screenshot, you don't need me to email it to you. You good, bro. We good. Right?
Yeah, I did a screenshot too.
You took a screenshot? Evans, take a screenshot.
Yes.
Can you take a screenshot, Evans?
Okay. It's just not pretty.
It's not pretty. I just need you to have a question, because really, I think it would be good if you actually wrote the question out in your journal and then answer it.
Done.
All right, so take that outcome, whatever that number is, right? After you do that exercise about this is what I want the next 12 months, right? Whatever that number is your achievable outcome, and then we're going to position that, we're going to answer all of these questions. Then after we answer all of these questions, we're going to create our outcome statement, right? Y'all remember when I read this statement to you? This was an example of an outcome statement. So you're going to write it out as a statement. Like that. Put it in a form where you can read it every day. So I gave y'all like 5 things. 5 things that I need you to do. Quick recap before I go to the next. I want to make sure that y'all get this part.
I missed the last thing. My screen went out, so I missed the last thing to do.
So the last thing is, after you answer these questions, Adrian, based on your outcome, then you're gonna compile it in a statement. So based on you're gonna look at your answers, and then you're gonna compile it in a statement, a paragraph similar to this. How you doing, Brenda? We got Brenda in the building. Brenda's in the building.
Hello, guys.
We're just recapping.
Last week, right?
Briefly. So, Adrian, that makes sense?
Yes, I have it.
So I'm gonna recap it one more time because I want to make sure that y'all get every single item. I want you to do every single item, and then we're going to revisit it in a group coaching session. Okay? So, especially now that I have Brenda here, so I can recap it. All right. This is what I need you to do. Number 1, I need you to look over your last 12 months and determine how much commission, gross commissionable income, meaning money made off of transactions, buy or sell, apartment lease. Take that number. Then you're going to look back over your last 12 months and you're going to determine how much money did I spend? What were my expenses as it relates to my real estate business? So this is the first thing you're going to do. So this is the first thing you're going to do. All right. Identify how much money did I make? And then over the last 12 months, how much money did I spend over the last 12 months specific for my real estate business, right? So I'm not talking about groceries, I'm not talking about your mortgage, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about expenses specific to your real estate business. What were those expenses? right? And then you're gonna subtract your commission, your expenses from your commission, and then that's gonna give you your net income. So you're gonna come up with your net income from the last 12 months. That's the first thing. All right. The second thing you're gonna do is you're going to determine what is the number that you want that to be this time next year. This time next year, what do you want that number to be? You have what the number is now. What is it that you want that number to be this time next year? Okay, that's the second thing. The third thing you're gonna do, you're gonna look over the last 12 months. Now that you have the number that it is, and you also now have the number that you want it to be next year, you're gonna ask yourself, what stopped you from achieving that number this year? That's the third thing you're gonna do. Okay, so we got three things. After we have that, we have what we want it to be for the next 12 months. We're calling that our achievable outcome. So Ms. Brenda, you gotta take a picture of that.
No, I already did it.
You did it? Perfect.
I came in.
Oh, good. All right. You have your achievable outcome. Oh, you did your homework.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I did that.
Miss Brenda did her homework. Let's go, Miss Brenda. Go start from.
Congratulations.
Let's go. Miss
Sell a
Brenda
book.
she did her homework.
Those cards good, the money's good too.
Let's go.
Not child.
What are you doing?
I love it.
Teacher's
Working.
pet.
I read.
I love it. Don't worry, Miss Brenda. Hey, yeah, look, the teacher's pet always make the most money. Let's go, Miss Brenda. Let's go. All right. So that's all right. So we got our achievable outcome. The fourth thing is we're going to take our achievable outcome. We're going to answer these questions as it relates to the achievable outcome. That's number 4. And number 5 is we're going to take our answers and we are going to create a narrative, a story, a paragraph. We're going to create an outcome statement, and we're going to be as specific as possible, and we're going to be as compelling as possible. Really associate ourselves to that moment that we have achieved this outcome. What are we seeing? What are we hearing? What are we feeling? What are we doing? Really associate ourselves into that statement that we come up with. Okay? So that's the exercise, those 5 things. And we're going to address them in our group coaching once you all do them. Now, I want to see if Miss Brenda, if you feel comfortable, you don't have to, but if you feel comfortable sharing what you came up with and how the exercise was for you.
I can. I'm online.
Yeah, they can hear you.
Oh.
They can't see you, but they can hear you.
So you want me to read what the first question was? I have it on my phone,
Well,
but I just said when I read.
Did you come up with it? Well, first of all, tell me, how was the exercise for
Emotional,
you? Okay.
very emotional. Okay,
Mhm.
but good.
It was good.
It was making me think.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, when I read the outcome of what I want to do in my career,
Mhm.
the first thing I would do was praise God for blessing me.
Okay.
It would increase my confidence in myself if I completed it.
Mhm.
I didn't write the questions out, but
Right. I got it. So don't give me those answers. Did you write it in a statement? Did you come up with a statement?
towards the end, I got
Yes.
4 pages. So
Oh, that's okay. So did you come up with this, like this paragraph, and taking all of your answers and putting it?
no, I did not.
Okay, so that's what I need you to do.
Okay,
So take all of your answers,
okay,
right?
okay.
Matter of fact, go ahead and just read me your answer. Just read the answer. Don't read the question, just read all the answers that you wrote.
Okay, it would increase the confidence in myself.
Mhm.
I would understand the scripture, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And through all the years that I would give up on things too easily, I guess this part got a little emotional.
Just read, just share with me what you want. Just whatever question, whatever answer you want to read, just read them out loud. Because I'm gonna show you how to put them in a statement.
Okay. Through all the years that I would give up when things got hard, I would blame somebody else for my failures. Listening to relatives saying you can't do it, you're lazy, you know, skip over some of that stuff. You know, you married, take care of your husband, take care of your family. You shouldn't be doing this, that, and the other. Submit to them, you know, and them saying, look up to me, I'm great. Be happy you have me. I'm successful and you're not.
Okay, okay.
You know, other friends, all my friends' wives, guys have degrees. What do you all? I mean, these are just, that's why I said it gets a little.
I got you. This is just, but then that's what it's supposed to do, right? It's supposed to bring you to a level of awareness. So just keep going. Just keep. I'm listening to what you're doing, and I'm picking out the piece that I want to pick out. So don't worry about it.
And then understanding how important it is to accomplish my dream.
Okay.
I think that was still question number 2.
Okay.
My present situation is, although problems arise in my family, I must continue to push through.
Okay.
I must continue to push forward. Even though my steps are smaller than they actually should be, I'm still moving forward.
Okay.
Every day I call on Jesus to order my steps and my thoughts.
Okay.
Number 3, I know when I have it where I'm totally happy with my accomplishment and in my career. This outcome will give me my own money to invest in other businesses. I want it so I can prove to my family that it's never too late to accomplish your goals. Let's see, number 5, nothing in my life is just for myself. It's for my family. Work hard to achieve your goals at a younger age though. Because I'm old. But I'm still trying to move towards those goals. Do not put any relationship, marriage, or anything like that until you actually achieve your financial success or become your better self.
Okay.
Before that. Of course, I'm in charge of my results, but because I put God first in my life, knowing it's also His will for me. Number 6, I want to achieve these outcomes with my family support. Some drawbacks are necessary. I must keep all responsibilities organized. You mentioned to me one time, I'm going to have you thinking, thinking of real estate. And in my mind, I'm saying that's not my personality. I have to do other stuff. So I'm the type of person, everything in my life has to be in order. If I'm doing this real estate, I will do the best that I can, but I gotta cook, I gotta clean, I gotta drop people off, and everybody's looking at me for doing these things. So if my mind is not organized, then it creates issues, and nothing is done the way it should be.
Absolutely.
The resources I have to support this situation is from Michael Davis and Brooks and Davis Miller. Some also YouTube videos and the hard videos and the training are as well. Number 8. I want to achieve this goal to generate money to invest in other businesses. Help relatives accomplish their goals by hearing my story at, I'm not going to tell y'all my age.
Don't tell us yet.
In the 60s, I just say that. Number 8, I can't remember what it was. Part 2 of number 8. I may lose my marriage, but I'm skipping that.
All right, skip that.
I want to own at least 5 income properties.
All right.
Okay, to pass them down to my kids. I have 3 kids. and the spirit of being an entrepreneur. Okay, in January the 20th of 25, that's just almost 3 years away from now. We're going in 2023. I will have accomplished these goals, and I will have passionate income properties and businesses. Not passive income and properties and businesses. And I almost quit many times, but continue to believe in God. Knowing He's with me, I can't quit. That's it.
Good. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna put this, I was taking notes and stuff.
I see.
All right, so this is a real live example. So Brenda she went through the exercise, she answered all the questions, right? And now I'm gonna take her answers and I'm gonna create this "it is now" statement for you using your stuff, all right? All right, and you even gave me the date, so January 2025. All right, so we're gonna pick a date, right? Matter of fact, we're gonna pick my birthday.
Okay.
So we're gonna just say it is January 14th.
Oh,
2025. All right, so you see right now it says it is now Saturday, December 31st, 2022 at 11:15. All right, so I'm just gonna say it's a Wednesday. It is now Wednesday, January 14th, 2025 at 11:15 a.m. Now, what was your financial outcome?
I did not finish the financial outcome because I haven't been here a year plus.
No, not. I'm talking about the one that you want.
The one that I want.
Yes.
The one that I want is probably I'll have the $100,000.
Okay, so we'll say 100,000. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to give me a specific number. Because the way the unconscious mind works, zeros aren't real numbers to the unconscious mind.
Okay.
So it sees 1.
Okay. A 125,000.
All right, 125. Give me 3 more numbers.
What do you mean?
Like 125,000
and 25 cents.
Give me like $125,122.
Okay,
Like that.
okay. $125,000, $122.
All right, so $125,122.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. So it is now Wednesday, January 14, 2025 at 11:15 a.m. and I have secured $125,122. Okay. I listened to the Spirit. I'm listening to the Spirit of Jesus, and I'm totally happy with the accomplishments that I've done. I've invested in other businesses, and through my actions, I've proven to my family that it is never too late to accomplish goals. In achieving this accomplishment, I'm still able to do everything that needs to be done for my family. Okay. I hear my family to tell me to keep pushing through, as well as I continue to tell myself that you're never too old to achieve your dreams. I understand that I'm in charge of my results, and every day I was secure in the fact that I knew that it was God's will for me. I continue to support my family. And with the resources of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm and as CEO Coach Mike, along with YouTube videos and trainings from HAR, I was able to achieve this accomplishment. I'm now currently generating money to invest in other businesses, as well as helping others in my family achieve their financial goals. I own 5 income properties, and my goal is to pass those properties down to my children. These are passive income properties that will be passed down to my kids. I can't quit because it is in God's will for me, and that's what powers me to move forward. All right, so that's me taking everything that you wrote down. That's me taking everything that Brenda had as it relates to those questions and putting them in a narrative that begins with "it is now" and putting a specific date, right? The only other thing that I would do is that I would continue to drill down, right? So even when you say I want 5 passive properties, instead of like get specific, like what do you want, a duplex, a fourplex, you want an apartment, you want a retail building, like get more specific, right? You know, get more specific as it relates to when you say you're going to help your family with their financial issue. Like what are some specific financial matters that you will be helping? So like just kind of drill it down some more. But even from what I just read, it's powerful enough to keep you and your unconscious mind lined up on this is what we want and this is how we want it, right? We don't want to sacrifice the responsibilities for the family. And guess what? You don't have to, right? We designed this thing the way we want to design it. So you can have both. It's not an and, it's not an either or. Sometimes we put our own selves in that box and we feel like I can either have this or this. And it's never that. It's always and. You can have it.
Paid service, please.
Right, exactly. You can have it all. You can have it all, right? You got to design it, right? That's all that really is. So that's an example of, so that's the 5th thing that I need y'all to do is to create the, outcome statement or the "it is now" statement. Maybe you should call it that, the "it is now" statement, because I want that to remind you all that it starts with "it is now." Now, for with you, Miss Brenda, she took it to 2025. I've been talking to y'all about just taking it to next year, right? So it is now December 13th. It is now Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. I have boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right. Before I move on to the next part of the training, any questions or comments about what we just did?
Just a comment.
All right.
I would say I've been missing this in me moving forward.
What do you mean?
Knowing where I'm going, knowing my outcome.
Yeah.
Meaning like I've been doing a lot of the components without knowing exactly how the outcome was going to play out.
Okay.
Like I participate here and there, but haven't really seen the big picture, the final version of what I really want.
Okay. Okay.
Being more precise, like Brenda's examples, is what I've been missing to push forward, in other words.
Okay. And just so I'm understanding what you're saying, it sounds like you're telling me not being clear on the destination.
Exactly that.
Not being clear on the destination, right?
Like
and
I have too many options and I haven't zeroed it in.
Right. It's hazy, it's fuzzy. And it's not just you, Evans, that was all of that's been all of our problems. That was my problems. That's most people's problems. Because the way that impacts is, again, think of the illustration about going on a trip. If you don't know the destination, right? You walk out your house and say, I'm finna go on a trip. But if you don't know a destination, that ultimately impacts everything. There's not one aspect of going on a trip that the destination, clearly knowing the destination, does not impact. How are you gonna get there? What time you gonna leave the house? What you gonna pack? How much money you gonna bring? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of that is contingent on the final destination. So if we say life is a journey, right? Of all the parables and things that we associate life to, life is a journey. How can you effectively move towards anything if you don't know what it is you're moving towards? So that's why this is so powerful, getting clear on ultimately what you want, period, right? No comma, nothing else after that. Getting clear on what you want. It unlocks everything. So I'm glad you shared that. This is a great exercise to flesh it out because it's not something that we know how to do. Like, you don't learn this, we ain't learned this in school, we ain't learned this in college, right? Even with some coaching programs, they don't effectively teach you how to flesh out getting a clear view on what you want, right? And then mobilizing everything around that. So it's definitely something that you have to be trained and taught. So here's an exercise. Take advantage of the exercise so you can get crystal clear on where you're going. And then every day we're going to charge it up. We're going to charge the vision up. We're going to make it bright. We're going to continue to make it big. We're going to continue to keep it in the forefront of you because that is what's going to, number one, ensure that you're in the right state of being every day, every moment. You're in the right state of being to enhance your chances of achieving the outcome in the right state, right? By keeping it in the forefront of you, because we know that state determines behavior and behavior determines results. All right. Okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments before we move to the next portion of it? Okay, good. Do the exercise so we can bring it to fruition. Utilizing our group coaching sessions, bring it to fruition so everybody can be clear on this is what I'm doing it for. Like, this is what I'm doing all this for. Now let's go build it. Let's go move. Let's go get there. Let's go get to the destination, right? I recall, I love using that illustration because it's like, first of all, I hate long drives, right? I mean, it's just, I don't like it. So once I lay everything out, now I'm like, all right, now we got the plan. We know where we're going. We all packed up. We ready to go. Now let's get there. And let's get there as fast as possible, right? That's what motivates you. Driving like, I know where we're going. Boom. Now let's just hurry up and get there. That's what this does for you, right? Once you're like, okay, this is what I want. I know what I want now. Every day, man, let's get there. Let's go. Let's get to going. Let's get there, right? That's what this is going to do for you. It's going to enhance your intensity for your business and your life. All right. Business plan. Now let's get down into some nuts and bolts of a business plan. That's what we're going to do with the rest of our time. All right. 7 questions. We're going to look at 7 questions as it relates to building a business plan. And I'm going to hit all 7 of them. All right. So again, great opportunity for you to take notes. Hopefully you all have your journals out. If not, get your journals because this is the kind of stuff that you should be writing in it. All right, 7 questions. 7-question business plan. Number 1, how will you generate business? That's the first question. How will you generate business?
Meeting new people.
No. Leads is right? Yeah. Generate new business is attracting business. Yeah. Like, now that you've identified what this outcome is, right? So now we've determined the destination, at least for the next 12 months. Now we're going to talk about how are we going to get there. We're going to talk about strategy, blueprint. We know where we want to go. How are we going to get there? All right. The number 1 thing is you got to generate leads. You got to generate business. You got to attract business. One of the easy, if you can't do nothing else, you can't think of nothing else, you can't come up with any other ideas, you can always attract business by meeting new people. Always attract business by meeting new people. I have an example today. So I was meeting I had a coaching session at 10:30. My person was actually in the car dealership, forgot they need to do some servicing on their car. So in the car dealership, got their phone out, got their computer up, boom, working on it. While they're coaching with me, I seen it with my own eyes, like literally about an hour ago. While they're coaching with me, a person comes up to them and compliments them on their hair. Your hair is really nice, like out of the blue. They don't know this person. right? Didn't even take into consideration that she was doing anything, right? Her hair was just so immaculate. I guess she was so impressed by her hair. She just had to go let her know. Right? I gotta let you know how impressed I was with her. That was a woman. Yeah, so it was same sex. Your hair is so beautiful. Really want to compliment on her hair. And then she was like, do you do hair? So then our agent was like, no, I don't do hair. I do real estate. I don't do hair. I do real estate. Right? Are you in the market? I can't make this stuff up. Did it by myself. Look, SEO Coach Mike is just checking it out. Like, let me see if they listen. Let me see if they capitalizing on the stuff that I'm training them on. Right? I don't do hair. I do real estate. Are you in the market? The young lady said, you know what? I am in the market. You know, I have a house. I'm there. So they got into a conversation. Make a long story short, she ended up capturing the young lady's information. She's gonna follow up with her. Boom, got somebody, plugging her pipeline, meeting new people. Met at just going to get oil change in her car, but she met that person, right? Meeting new people. Now, here's the thing about meeting new people. I like what it says under there. Real estate requires conversations. If you're in a slump, one of the simplest ways to change this is just increase your number of conversations every day. She had one conversation, a conversation that lasted maybe all of about 3 minutes. Met a new person, plugged somebody in her pipeline. So now ask yourself, how can I exponentially multiply that? How can we go from just that one 3-minute conversation to 10 3-minute conversations, or 15 20-minute, or 20 3-minute conversations, or 100 3-minute conversations, right? How can we expand it? How can we enhance it? So the building blocks, you guys hear me talk about that all the time, which is the touches. Your real estate business should be built on a foundation of it being a natural, just a natural behavior for you to talk and meet people, period. It should be just, it should come out so effortlessly as it did for the agent that I'm using in this example. Do you do here? No, I don't. I do real estate. Are you in the market? It should just flow out like breathing. Regular conversation. Been plenty of times that I've been, again, that's another reason why I encourage y'all to wear this R. Wear the R. Get those little polo shirts with the R on, because those by themselves will generate that conversation, right? We did something just recently. We put a sign in the window just saying we're a real estate office. Shay, yeah, it's a sign right there in the front. Shay can back me up. Dude walked in on Tuesday. Hey, had a real estate need. That R does the same thing. You'll be with people in the elevator. Or you do real estate. And don't get it twisted. If a person that don't know you randomly asks you if you do real estate, they thinking about something real estate. Yeah. So don't let them off the hook. Don't just be like, yes, and let that be the end of the conversation. No, start a real estate conversation. Yes, I do real estate. You in the market? You have a question about it? Do you know somebody that's looking? Like, it's real simple. So this right here, when it comes to the question of how am I going to attract business, this needs to be on everybody's list. Meeting new people, having as many real estate conversations every day as possible. Every day, right? Real estate agents, top producing real estate agents, and y'all know my stance. All of you all are top producing real estate agents. I don't care about how many deals that you've done. I don't care about how much money that you've made. And I do not care about how much production. $1 million worth, 2 million, 20 million, $100 million worth of production. None of that determines if you're a top producing agent or not. The only thing that determines if you're a top producing agent is you deciding that you are a top producing agent. You decide this is what you are. Then what'll happen is you will begin to value the things that top producing agents value. The things that are important to top producing agents, which is real estate conversations, as many of them as possible, which is one-on-one coaching, which is training, right? You will begin, those things will begin to be important to you because they are important to top producing agents. Then you will begin to believe the things that top producing agents believe. I can help anybody. Nobody's going to care for a client better than me. It's not about how much I know, it's about how much I care as it relates to my clients. I'm able to satisfy any real estate need. If I don't know it right now, I know where to go to get the information and I'm willing to do it, right? I can achieve as much money as I want in this business. These are things that top producing agents believe. Every day I'm going to get up and I'm going to be effective with the use of my time. I'm not going to waste my time because top producing agents don't waste their time. Top producing agents believe that time is important. You're gonna, once you decide that you're a top producing agent, you're gonna value the things that top producing agents do, value. You're going to believe the things that top producing agents believe. And those three things are going to force you to behave the way that top producing agents behave, right? Remember, that's what we're trying with. That's what we're getting to, behavior. Once you decide you're a top producing agent, you're going to begin to have those values. You're going to begin to have those beliefs, and that's going to force you to behave like a top producing agent. And through your behavior like a top producing agent, you will have the results that top producing agents have. That's why I say you are all already top producing agents. You got to accept that. You have to choose that, okay? And top producing agents, every day they meet new people. All right. How are you going to attract business? This is a simple list of just some examples of how you can attract business. Okay. This is just an example. There's thousands of ways to attract business, right? The only one that has to be on everybody's is meet new people every day. It's just the simplest, it's the most simplest way. But you should pick out 4 to 5 different areas that you're going to build out that's going to drive business to you. That you're going to use as a way to attract business, right? And like I said, here's a list of ways to do it. The sphere of influence and past clients. It's a great way to attract business, right? There's, the holiday party. Look, the holiday party that we're doing is a great way to use to put in front of your sphere of influence and past clients to position you to attract business from them.
Oh, they can come to the party.
They can come to the party, right? It gives you the ability to call all your sphere of influence, call all your past clients, and invite them to your company holiday party. Number one, that's going to make them feel good. Whether they come or not, they're going to feel good the fact that you invited them. Number two is going to remind them that you do real estate, right? And for some of them, it may make them aware, right? You may have missed some people that you hadn't told that you do real estate. So now that you're doing this, it's going to make them aware of the fact that you do real estate. And I guarantee you it's going to create business. You're going to get business opportunities out of just that exercise. So that's one way, sphere of influence, past clients, right? Social media is the one that everybody kind of defaults to. Oh, I got to get on social media, right? I'm not good. And that's the crazy thing, that everybody defaults to social media, but that's the first one that they say that they're not good at. But they feel forced. Like, if I'm going to be successful in real estate, I got to do social media. Well, guess who don't believe that? Top producing agents. Top producing agents don't believe that they got to be good at social media to be successful in real estate. Top producing agents believe that social media is just one aspect of generating business. But there are so many other aspects of generating business. They just need to find the ones that they want to do. Period. Let me tell you something else that top producing agents don't believe. Top producing agents don't believe they're not good at nothing. If you're willing to put the work and the time and the effort into it, you can become good at it. Good is just learning. Right? If there's something that you want to do, and all of you all have a proven track record as it relates to it, because all of y'all are good at something. But when you weren't born, like you didn't come out the womb good at that, right? You got good at that over time, over doing it, over learning it, over being involved in it. You got good at it. So you have the formula already. So what you can do is take that same formula and apply it to anything else, and you'll become good at it. So top producing agents can become good at anything. That's what they believe. Right? So if you wanna be good at social media, you can. If you want social media to be one of the ways that you attract business, you can do it. And now we're going to go out there and we're going to become good at social media, and we're going to position it to where it attracts business for you. Now here, look, you don't have to though. If you don't want that to be one of your 4 or 5 streams of income, business, one of your 4 or 5 streams of business, it doesn't have to be. Okay? So you just pick one of these on here. Me, I did all of it. Over my 19 years of my 19-year real estate career, everything on this list I've attempted to utilize and implement as it relates to build my business. Everything. Right? That's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's over 20 things, 20 different things. And this isn't even an exhaustive list. There's other things that are on here that's not even on this list. Right? This is just here to let you know that there's so many ways to attract business. You just have to decide which ones that you're going to do and move forward in that vein. Okay? So how are you going to attract business? Go ahead, Bert.
So social media accounts, how do you know when the person is actually serious about having you help them look for a property? Because I had people, oh, hi, how are you today? Where do you live? Do you like this? You know, and I had to say they wanted a friendship with me. And I said, are you interested in buying a house? They say no. I said, well, I'm not interested in being a friend. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
All right. So
I mean, I had about 3 men.
Okay. Well, you answered your own question.
I mean, maybe they were asking, maybe they wanted me to be friendly, so they'd say, I want to buy a house. It's so many perverts. I'm sorry. That's just my.
But you've answered your own question, right? Your question was, how do you know if they're serious or not? Right?
Yeah, I asked them and they said no.
Right.
Okay.
It's done. So now let's move on, right?
Okay.
Now, if you wanted to create these are people that's trying to get with me, box, right? If you wanted to do that, do it. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, all right, once you realize they're not serious, disassociate your conversation with them. Move on to the next people. But look, it's 1 billion people on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right? So let's go. We're gonna start talking to some of these other billions of people because you 3 are not talking about nothing. Right? Okay. Because look, here's the reality. You can't control the result. All you can do is control the activity. That's why we really don't measure results. I don't want you to get discouraged because of result. I want you to get discouraged because of activity.
Okay.
If you didn't get the amount that you wanted to get done, say you wanted to do 100 engagements and you didn't get 100 engagements done. If you're gonna get discouraged about anything, I want it to be the fact that you didn't get 100 engagements done. I don't want you to be discouraged that you talked to 100 people and nobody had a real estate meeting. I don't want you to get discouraged about that. I don't want you to get discouraged that you talked to 100 people and 3 of those 100 people were rude to you. I don't want you to get discouraged about it because you can't control a person's response. You can't. I see your hand, Evans. I'm calling. You can't control a person's response. You can't control a person's reaction. You can't control a person wanting to meet with you. You can't control a person having a real estate need. You can't control a person being kind to you. You can't control a person sitting there talking to and listening to you. You can't control any of that stuff. You can't control a person referring you. You can't control a person that has a real estate need willing to meet with you. You can't control a person that has a real estate need willing to give you their phone number. You can't control that person that has a real estate need that's willing to give you their number but's not willing to meet with you. Like, you can't control any of that. So we're not going to get discouraged about any of that. We're going to worry about what we can control, right? Because again, that's something that top producing agents believe. Top producing agents believe they're only going to concern themselves with what they can control, and the only thing that they control is their activity. All right, go ahead, Evans.
In short, I understand that part of being discouraged, but consistency on the activity side of things led to me getting 2 phone calls this morning from 2 previous people that I wrote off, but I stayed in touch through text messaging information, just information about what we're doing, following the advice, like you're saying, invite people to the party, what have you. And yeah, they submitted payments just this morning. Lachey can testify to that, to where, yeah, they're doing the background check and everything, moving forward on. So I got 2 leases coming into for next year. So
So Evans, you use the holiday party to engage your sphere of influence, right?
Just throwing whatever it is that we got out there as in my activity, not knowing whether or not they'll say yes or no, but letting them know that I'm still active.
Yep. So Evans is backing up what I'm saying. Using it to either make people aware, maybe some people that fell in the gaps that didn't know you did real estate, making them aware, number 1, and number 2, reminding people that you do real estate, staying in the forefront of it. That's why on the Brooks and Davis end, that's why we do what we do, right? The pre-home buyer session, which we do every month, is you could use that every month to engage your past clients in your sphere of influence. Number 1, and number 2, the holiday party, which we do once a year. The family reunion, we do once a year. At least those 3 things, you can take those and go to your sphere of influence and your past clients, right? Now, you can add to that. When you're going out there and you're visiting, when we do our builder field trips, and y'all are going out there and visiting these builder complexes, and y'all are learning about the incentives that these builders have and the properties that these builders have for sale, that's a 4th thing that you can take and put in front of your sphere of influence and your past clients. Again, like Evan said, it's about all you're doing is educating or making your sphere of influence aware of what's going on in the market. And by that alone, it's going to keep you in the forefront of their mind, period. So even if they don't need you right now, because you're in the forefront of their mind, when they're talking to people, when they begin to have a real estate conversation with somebody, you're the person that they're going to direct those people to. So now, by you just staying in front of your sphere, you're now creating other real estate conversations that don't involve you. You're creating more and more real estate. So now it becomes this wave. This, how when you throw a pebble in the lake and then it just begins to wave out? That's what you're doing now. You've thrown your pebble in the lake by showing this group of people that you're doing real estate and you're constantly in front of them, and then they go talk to people, and then those people may talk to people, and those people may talk to people, and then it all just comes back to you, right? So good. Thank you, Evans, for sharing that with me. All right. Again, attracting business. You want to craft your marketing message. What makes you unique? What makes you unique, right? I was coaching here's an example of that. Coaching an agent, background in medicine, right? They said one of their challenges that they felt like as it related to getting their real estate business going was, I'm not a realtor, I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse at heart. That's the exact words they told me. I'm not a realtor, I'm a nurse at heart. So now just think about that. I'm not a realtor. That identity statement, you're wondering why you're not doing the things, you're wondering why you're not getting the result out of real estate, because you, identity-wise, you don't see yourself as a real estate agent, right? So that means because you don't see yourself as a real estate agent, you're not valuing the things that real estate agents do. You're not believing the things that real estate agents believe. And that's why you're not doing the things that real estate agents do. And that's why you're not getting the results that real estate agents are getting, yet you're frustrated about it. But you yourself called yourself that, said that you're not a real estate agent.
But she said she's a nurse, but nurses are nurses because they enjoy helping people.
So it's
So she
in
could have
NLP.
taken that angle.
In NLP, look at you. I got me a future coach right here next to me. All I gotta do is get her right. I'm gonna get you right. That's exactly what I did. I had to reframe it, right? All right. So now you're a nurse. The reason you're a nurse is because you care about people, right?
Yes.
All right. So now, this is what I said. Do you believe that there are nurses and people in the medical profession that if they had somebody that specialized in real estate to work with them, that it would enhance their lives, right? Now, I already knew this, but I needed her to say it.
Yeah.
She was like, well, yeah, because, medical professionals have a lot of money, but they don't have any time.
Yeah.
So if they had somebody that they trusted, that understood their needs and that worked with them in this real estate space, then yeah, it would greatly enhance their lives. So I was like, well, why don't you be that person for them?
Yeah.
Since you have a heart for the medical profession, you've done it so long,
yeah.
You want to help people, you want to care for people. So after we had that conversation, the light bulb went off, right?
Yeah.
And that was the vein, right? So in essence, what makes you unique? That's what made her unique, right? So now she already has created all of this opportunity. She has all of this potential that she's already sitting on because of the years she's been in the medical profession and the relationships that she's already have. Now she can revisit all of those relationships with this unique marketing message of I'm the nurse's, well, I'm the real estate nurse. That's what I said, because she's an RN. Yeah. I say, so that RN don't stand for registered nurse no more. It stands for real estate nurse, right? You can still put that on your business card, on your marketing material, and put the RN behind it, right? Matter of fact, put 2 RNs for RN, RN. They're gonna be like, why you got 2 RNs? Because one's for registered nurse, the other one's for real estate nurse. Boom. Yeah. So again, what makes you unique? Who's your audience, right? Using that example again, medical professionals, that's her audience, yeah. Right? So doctors, nurses, the plethora, people that are in medicine, pharmacists, all of that.
Patients.
Well, I wouldn't go to patients.
Why?
Because she's the real estate nurse. She's the advocate for medical professionals.
Okay, to get them to
right.
buy property or sell
right,
properties.
Right. So who's her audience? Medical professionals. Where can she find her audience?
At work.
Right. Walk in the hospital, walk in the emergency room, you'll find them, yeah. Right? So just so that right there we identified all 3 of the aspects of crafting your message, right? We can look at Brooks and Davis, right? What makes Brooks and Davis unique, which is the thing that, we spent years not only identifying what was going to be what made us unique, but creating the marketing message around it and then continuing to reinforce that message. We spent years doing it. And what is it? Support. As a real estate brokerage, we're going to be better at supporting agents than any other brokerage firm, right? So as we identify that vein and then we begin to build around it, that's what drives why we do so much, why we do the coaching, why we do the mentoring, why we do the group coaching, why we do the field trips, why we do the pre-home buyer session, why we do the, now we're about to introduce the real estate launch parties. Why, it drives everything that we do, because what makes us unique is we out support everybody. All right, so who is our audience? Well, our audience is licensed real estate professionals, but then we created the affiliate program, real estate student affiliate program. And why do we do that? To help expand our audience. right? So now we can go licensed real estate professionals, and we can go people that are in real estate school that are thinking about getting into real estate. So guess what? Now we're able to engage people before most, if any, other real estate companies. Because I don't know of any other real estate companies that have a real estate student affiliate membership that allows people to get connected to them before they're licensed. I don't know of any other companies that do that, but we do. We got 64 real estate students. So we got 64 people that we're engaging on a consistent basis that are not licensed yet, future agents that we're helping get licensed, right? We just had an affiliate member came into the office on Tuesday, Monday passed their license, came into the office on Tuesday to say thank you to me for motivating her to go ahead and take the test. Again, LaShavia, come on, unmute yourself so these people know I ain't lying to them.
Hey y'all,
Tell them I ain't lying.
about what?
Say it again.
I missed that part.
All right. I said, I'm telling them, I'm talking about the real estate student. We had a real estate affiliate that passed her exam last Monday.
Yes.
She came into the office this Tuesday.
Yes.
Just because she wanted to thank me personally,
Yes.
for motivating her to go and take her exam.
Yes. She said you put the fire under her butt.
All right. See, I gotta make sure I got witnesses that I ain't lying. I'm not lying to y'all. When I tell these stories, this is true, right? So she was one of 64 people that we engage on a weekly basis that are in the process of getting their real estate license. We've expanded our audience, right? Through the use of creativity. We're launching in January, we're gonna officially, it's gonna be like a digital launch into Austin, right? Previous to that, where can you find your audience? It was Houston, right? The Houston Metroplex, right? Before we had Brooks and Davis West, before we had Brooks and Davis North, it was within a 10-mile radius of this office was our audience. Then we opened up a footprint on the west side. Now we can find our audience on that side. We opened up a footprint on the north side, all right? That enhances our audience, where we can find our audience. It makes our pool bigger. Now we're going into Austin. Now we can attract Austin, and then we're going to go to Dallas and San Antonio and then the other states and then over the world, right? The world will be our oyster at some point. But it's all the same steps. So whether we're talking about a new agent who's now the real estate nurse, or Brooks and Davis, a brokerage firm that's been around for 14 years, over 75 agents, multiple offices, it's all the same steps, right? What makes you unique? Who is your audience? Where can you find your audience? All right, that makes sense? Good. Any questions or comments? Now, every time y'all see that little mirror icon, that means for you to do this, you gotta look in the mirror. Right? You gotta look in the mirror, you gotta get personal.
Well, when I started real estate, and my head is still working with this, I said, I'm not a good salesman. I don't want to be a salesman. Salesmen lie. This is my concept.
I know, brother, I know.
And I had to really work with that.
Yeah, I know. I
and-
know. Whatever comes after I am is the thing that's determining your destiny. It is responsible. Anything that comes after I am is determining the results that you get.
Right. Because I would say they fudge the truth sometimes.
Well, those people did.
Yeah, I'm thinking about.
But I'm just right. But that's one of the biggest challenges that I deal with people that come into real estate. Yeah. They don't want to be salespeople. They have a negative image or a negative view about salespeople. Right. So how are you going to be a successful salesperson?
Well, I think, was it Margaret, the girl that she did a video What's her name, Margaret, or
Which one?
she did the buyers?
Oh, Margaret, yeah.
Margaret. And she said, well, we're not actually salespeople, we're consultants.
Mhm.
And I like that, because
Like that.
that can work fine in my head.
That can work in your head. Yes, 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 yes.
I just have to say, in regards to the idea that salespeople or liars or fudgers or any of those things, I like to digress that or dilute that and say that we're all people. We're all human beings. No matter what the profession or job or what have you, we're all imperfect. So as we're all working, even in the statement of saying, hey, we're consultants, one person's opinion, can easily say, hey, that's nothing but fudging the idea of them being a salesperson. So we got to remove that negative connotation to even begin understanding, to dive into what it is, even that having what a conversation is really all about. Because the moment we all speak, all we are doing is just speaking from what we know or
Right.
what we've even been told.
Right. No, you have a great point, Evans. I appreciate you sharing that. At the end of the day, you are not going to be a successful real estate agent if you have a negative impression of salespeople. It's not going to happen. It's not possible. So you have to be proud. I'm proud to be a salesperson. Matter of fact, I feel like there's no better profession than salespeople. Think about it. We're influential. A lot of times we're the leaders in our communities. We know how to get things accomplished. We help people. We help people at a high level. People like being around us. We make people feel good, right? I love being a salesperson. Matter of fact, I think everybody's got to be a salesperson. We at a very young age, we learn how to sell. Kids sell their parents. My son sold me this morning. My son made me do something I didn't want to do. Right? This morning, I had my plan laid out. I was going to drop off my daughter and I was going to come to the office. I had my finance meeting. We do our finance meeting on Wednesdays because y'all be wanting y'all checks. Y'all want y'all money. So me and Bruce got to meet on Wednesdays at 9. My son called me and was like, he didn't even ask me what I was doing. He didn't ask what I was doing. He didn't care about it. He was like, hey, you still at the school with Morgan? And I was like, nah, son. He was like, all right, bet. I need you to go to the house, get this for me, and I need you to bring it to the school. So first of all, I'm like, bro, you don't even know what I'm doing. Like, you ain't asked me if I'm busy, if I got time to do that or whatever. He like, well, do you have time? And I was like, not really, I got stuff to do. And he was like, all right, well, it's cool, don't worry about it. So here go dad. Well, hold on, son, what is it that you need? You know what I'm saying? Right, what you need? Why you need me to do that? So he explained why he needed it. And so I'm like, man, all right, son, I'm gonna go to the house. What I need to do? He like, all right, cool. Get to the school, they're gonna call me out, boom. Appreciate it. Boom. Right? Salesperson. He asked for what he needed, right? He adjusted based off of the reaction that he got, right? He was willing to walk away from it without any issue. He was willing to be like, okay, but don't worry about it. It's cool, right? He was willing to be okay with not selling, not getting the result. He was cool with that. But based on the relationship, which he knew about the relationship, dad, son, there's a big chance that I can get him to do what I need him to do. Salespeople know how to influence people and make them feel good about it. Because guess what? After I did what I needed to do, and I dropped that off of my son, and I was on my way to the office, I felt really good. The fact that I was able to help my son out.
Okay, so let me restate what I said. One, I apologize if I offended anybody.
No,
in my mind, I was thinking about a relative. So
no,
it's not all salespeople in my mind. It's just some salespeople talk so fast and this and that. And so that's what I was talking about. So what's this guy's name? Evans. I'm sorry if I offended you.
No.
I didn't mean anything personal, just generalized.
No offense taken.
I got you.
I was just trying to be helpful.
Evan's not offended. Evan's, like he said, he was just trying to be helpful.
Yeah,
But
but
my point,
some
this is the point though.
Right, I understand.
That right there is a big reason why realtors are not successful.
Yes. I
Is
get it.
because of they have a negative impression of salespeople.
Yeah.
Right? That's why they're not. Right? So if we talk about activity, like if you look at this list, if you have a negative connotation of salespeople, you're not going to do nothing on this list. Because everything on this list is what salespeople do.
Yeah.
So that means you're not going to do anything on this list. So if you're not going to do anything on this list, how are you going to attract business? You're not. And that's why you're not getting that done. All right. You're not going to do this. Talking about audience and where you can find your audience. You know why you're not going to do this? Because this is what salespeople do. So if you have a negative connotation, you're not going to do the things that salespeople do. All right. So how do you generate business? All right. Number 2, what are your processes? What are the systems you will use? All right. So after you answer the question of how will you generate business, you got to answer these questions. What are your processes? Number 2, and what are the systems that you're going to use to generate business? Okay. What are the processes? What are the systems you will use? All right. So what does that look like? I'll use the pre-home buyer session as an example. Okay. The reason that the pre-home buyer session was born was because we determined what was going to make us unique. We were going to educate buyers. Like a lot of people do home buyer workshops, right? Home buyer workshops is a common thing that people do, right? Now, the idea makes sense, which is you want to educate your marketplace. And you want to consistently educate your marketplace. Okay. So what makes you unique? Brooks and Davis is going to be the best at educating the marketplace. Okay. Brooks and Davis is going to be the best at providing an opportunity, providing the circumstances for individuals that are thinking about buying a house to get the best information, because there are myths in this marketplace. So Brooks and Davis is going to demystify the marketplace with the hopes of encouraging more people to not let fear stop them because of lack of information. All right. So since that's what we wanted to do, and that's what was going to make us unique, who is our audience? People that are thinking about buying. That's our audience. Boom. That's it. So not people that are pre-approved, not people that are already looking, people that just have the thought and the desire that they want to buy. Okay. So where can you find those people that have the desire, the thought to buy?
Conversation.
Right. It's a multitude of places that you can find these people. Right. All right. So now that we did that, what is the process or the system that we're going to use to attract those people and get them through our pipeline? All right. Let's come up with a workshop. Let's come up with something that we can do every month. Let's come up with something that we can do in person and we can do it virtually. And then the way that we're going to do this workshop, we're going to have a realtor speak. And instead of the realtor just giving a bunch of information, because people can go on Google and get information, we're going to use it as an opportunity to inspire people, since we know that fear is the thing that we want to tackle. So we want to inspire them by giving them testimonies and inspirational stories of why they should buy, why they shouldn't allow fear, right? We're going to let the realtor talk about that. Then the mortgage person, instead of them giving them a bunch of information about the financing process, because again, they probably attended other home buyer workshops that gave them all that information. They probably Googled and got all that information. So we're not going to give them that stuff. We're not going to tell them, we're not going to show them the loan application, the 1003, and we're not going to talk about credit, and we're not going to talk about, the mechanics, because they're not going to remember that stuff anyway, because it's not relative to their situation. What we're going to do is we're going to use the mortgage person to demystify it, right? People think they still need 20% to buy a house. That's why they're not trying, because they know they don't have 20% or $20,000 or $30,000 to put down. So they're not trying. People still think they need a 700 credit score. They know they don't have a 700 credit score. So they know they're not even trying, right? People have misunderstandings as it relates to how long they got to be on their job, what they can submit as far as employment, right? They have all these misconceptions. So we're going to use the mortgage person to demystify all of it, to debunk all these myths that people have. So now they have this additional information, it's going to further inspire them to want to do it, right? We're going to bring a credit person or a debt person to come in and talk about how the formula of credit really works. Because a lot of people think they don't have the credit score and it's going to take them a year or 2 years to fix it, when in reality, they can probably fix it in 90 days. People don't realize how fast you can fix your credit by a few things, like a few different activities. It's just because they don't know. So instead of giving people information, we're going to use this monthly session to inspire them, to demystify them, right? To eliminate all these misconceptions. To now, and then also what we're going to do is, a lot of people aren't even trying to buy because they think it's only one way to buy. That you have to fit this profile, you have to fit within this box, right? 700 credit score, 20% down, been on your job. You know, there's some people that feel like you can actually be too old to purchase, right? Not to talk about Miss Brenda's age. But Miss Brenda, you probably know some people that feel like I didn't know I could buy because I thought I was too old.
I don't know any people that feel like that.
But you've
Some
heard.
women may feel, can they buy a home
By
if
themselves.
they're married?
Right.
Can they buy the home without the husband's signature?
Right. It's all of these misconceptions, right? You know, some people feel like I got a whole bunch of money, but I don't have the credit, so I can't get financed, so I'm not gonna try. Like, so there are these non-traditional methods, right? I was having lunch. I see your hand, Evans. I was having lunch with a guy, and he was telling me about an arrangement that he made with a guy that had 80 grand, wanted to owner finance, and he was gonna owner finance the property to him, but he really didn't want to owner finance it. He wanted all this money, right? And I was like, hey, you ever heard of Divvy? Right? You ever heard of Homer that can buy you out? They'll buy you out and then owner finance it to the dude. I mean, the owner finance company, right? TL Global, they'll buy you out. They'll owner finance it to the dude. You know about it? He's like, nah, I didn't know about them. And people don't know about it. That's what makes us valuable as professionals, because we do. We got this toolkit that we can tap into. That's one of the things that I'm working on right now, is all these different resources. And if you just think about the real estate summit in a toolkit, right? All those different resources. We had over 18 different resources that we brought to the real estate summits, taking that and compiling that into a toolkit or an almanac or something that you all can access and really show all these multiple options that's out here in the marketplace that the marketplace has no clue exists, right? How unique will that make you having that, right? So I'm currently working on that. You're going to have that, right? Well, we have all that at the pre-home buyer session. So the pre-home buyer session was born. It's a process that we do on a monthly basis, in person and virtual, to put ourselves in a position to take people that are thinking about buying a house and attract them to us so we can put them in our pipeline and begin to work with those people for them to buy a house, for us to get a commission, right? So that's a process that we use. That's a system that we use, right? Okay, think about social media. If you decide, all right, I want social media to be one of those streams of income, streams of business. I want social media to be one of those streams of business, right? Okay, well, what are you gonna do within social media on a consistent basis, like Evans talked about, to capitalize on social media? What we do at Brooks and Davis is we got B&D TV. B&D TV, the whole reason we created B&D TV was to engage people on social media. That's what it was all about. To engage, to educate and entertain people on a consistent basis, to get eyeballs, to have people looking at us on social media, right? We go live on our Facebook business page. We go live on our YouTube channel 3 to 4 times a week. Every week, we're going live on our Facebook page. We're going live on our YouTube channel, and we're creating things digitally that'll be there forever on those platforms as a way to be found on social media and as a way to engage conversation. And as people respond to those things, right, we're in a place to where we respond to them. This is social media in a nutshell. You got the social part of it, and that means you need to socialize with people on these platforms. Means you need to get in their messages. You need to message them. You need to respond to the messages that they message to you. You need to go on their pages. You need to like their posts. You need to comment on their posts. When they comment back to you, you need to engage with them. That's the social part of social media, okay? Then you have the media part of social media. The media part is you posting. You putting stuff on your platforms on a consistent basis, constantly putting posts, things that you're doing, media for those people to see and for those people to comment on and those people to engage. You got to do both of those. What most people do is they do one or the other. There are people that have accounts that never post nothing. They use their account to look at other people's stuff. They don't comment on other people's stuff, right? Or they comment. They'll like other people's stuff and they'll comment on other people's stuff, but they never post on theirs. Then there are some people that never comment on other people's stuff. They never post on other people's stuff. All they do is post. All they do is put what they're doing. Rarely do they even comment on the people that comment on their stuff. All they do is just put stuff, they just post. So you got some people that all they do, they never post, all they do is engage. And you got some people that never engage, all they do is post. And then you got some people that don't do none of it. They have accounts, and like I said earlier, they have those accounts just to look at what other people are doing, for them to be entertained, right? So you can imagine they're not getting anything out of social media. So again, social media is not hard. Like social media is easy. The hardness of social media is in your head. Social media is simple. You socialize and then you put media out there and you combine those together, and that's how you generate leads. It's just another platform for you to make as many people as possible aware of the fact you do real estate, to remind as many people as possible that you do real estate, and in both of those instances, ask as many people as possible for business. That's all social media is in a nutshell. Go ahead, Evan.
One serious question, which I'll bring in afterwards, but just to share, one of my struggles with the social media aspect things is that I get into the quality or the competition or the comparison side of social media, meaning like, I see what other folks are doing and I'm like, well, I don't even begin to know how to post a very quality picture or video or,
Okay, so let me stop you real quick. Let me stop you real quick. First, stop looking at what other people are doing on social media. I know people tell y'all that all the time.
Right.
Look at what other people do and duplicate what they're doing. Here's the problem with that. You
Right.
don't know what kind of results those people are getting.
Okay.
You don't know if them people getting leads. You don't know if them people getting engagements. You don't know if them people are having real estate conversations based off of the strategies that they're utilizing. So stop looking at what other people are doing and duplicating what they're doing. All right. All you have to do, Evans, all you have to do. Did I say anything about quality?
Nope.
No.
I just been throwing some stuff up there with some cute little statements.
So
get back in touch with me.
Here's my question. Here's my question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are people engaging with the media that you're putting out there?
Here and there, yes.
Okay. First question. Second question. Are you engaging on other people's media?
Yes.
All right. Just keep doing it.
And I am.
That's it.
Then
There's no more to it. There's literally no more to social media than doing those two things on a consistent basis. That's it.
then I'm good. Then
Then you good.
then the real question or trick question is, yeah, so I do have a senior couple, and that was one of their statements right out the gate, is that they're too old to go ahead and start the process of, owning a home. So they want to go ahead and lease. Now in my head, as looking for any commission, I just say, I'm happy to help you do exactly what you want. Like I don't want to get into a tiff tug.
You do. Let me stop you right there, Evans. You do
Okay.
want to get to that because think about it. A top producing agent. What's important to a top producing agent is to provide as much value as possible to the customer, right?
Okay.
And a top producing agent believes that owning a home is always better than leasing a home. So because the top producing agent is what's important to them is helping the customer the best way. And a top producing agent believes the best way to help the customer is for them to own a home versus leasing a home. Then the behavior of a top producing agent in that circumstance is to get understanding of why that customer feels that way. Knowing that leasing is not better than buying, and knowing that it's no such thing as being too old to buy. Knowing those two things, the top producing agent is going to want to understand why the person believes that. So they are going to challenge it. Now, they're not going to challenge it in a forceful way. They're not going to challenge it in a disrespectful way, but they're 100% going to challenge it because they know that's not the best thing for the customer. So in getting that understanding from the customer, then it's going to flesh out what is it really? Is it just a matter of you don't have the right information? Is it a matter of fear? Is it a matter of like, what is it really? And then after the top producing agent fleshes it out, then they begin to point them in the direction that it needs to go, right? And really, at no point is it really ever about the commission, Evan. It's never really about the commission. Because
I understand that.
Again, when it comes to the pre-home buyer session, that's why we created the pre-home buyer session. For people like that have these myths in their head.
I will send them that invite.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. That's the way you do it. You say, hey, look, we got a pre-home buyer session coming up on Saturday, right? This Saturday, you gotta be there. You gotta be there because this is designed to help you, put you in the best situation for you, right? Buying is always better than leasing. I'm not gonna make you do nothing. I just want to give you the best information. The best information that you can use to help you make the best decision for you. Boom. So processes, systems. So everything that you do, once you decide how you're going to generate the business, then you have to be creative. This is where creativity, question 2 and question 3 is where your creativity has got to kick in. You got to get creative. The pre-home buyer session, we created that out of our creativity. B&D TV, right? The Realtor Life podcast, Mastermind Through Tough Times, the Prime Real Estate Network, the Monday Night Live. It came out of our creativity. The Real Estate Student Affiliate Program, it came out of our creativity, right? Number 2 and number 3 is where you got to get creative. You got to tap into your creativity. And I don't want to hear that you're not creative. Stop it. We all are creative. Period. Right? Ms. Brenda over here laughing at me.
I am very creative.
She is great. You know why? You know why we're creative right now? I don't care what your religious beliefs are. Right? You know, I'm Christian, and my Bible tells me that we were created in the image. We are created in the image of a creator. So if he created all of this, we all are creators. Period. Right. So you have the creativity, tap into it. This is where it's needed, this part of your business plan. What are you going to do? All right. Now, remember, if you pick 4 to 5 streams of business, then you just have to create processes and systems, 4 to 5 processes and systems, right? Now, and as you continue to expand, then you may have multiple systems and processes for those streams of businesses, right? So for us, I talked about social media, which is one of our streams of business. Well, we have multiple processing systems. Like we got BND TV. We also have the monthly career night where we go live on Instagram. We have that as well, right? We have the private Facebook group, right? We have the things that we do on our Facebook business page, right? I'm beginning to build out my TikTok. The SEO Coach Mike brand is being built out on TikTok. So you have now we have multiple processes all pointing to that one, which is social media, right? So, but don't get overwhelmed. Like, keep it simple. This didn't happen overnight. This years that we put all this stuff. Years over years over years. All right. All right. How are you going to measure your progress? All right. And as a heads up, heads up, we are going into group coaching. Group coaching starts at 2:00, right? So whatever I don't finish, I'm going to finish in group coaching. So feel free to stay on, right? And then I'm going to kind of send out the text, letting everybody know that group coaching is going to begin here. And then we're going to go from there. But I just want to give everybody a heads up. You do not have to stay on, right? But I'm going to stay on. I'm going to keep going through it. All right. How are you going to measure your progress? This one's important as well, right? What doesn't get measured doesn't matter, right? This is another one of those beliefs that top producing agents have.
What
right?
Doesn't get matter.
What doesn't get measured
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Why?
Because if you don't, okay, we'll put it like this. If you're not measuring how many contacts you're making a day,
Oh, okay.
you see,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whether you do it or you don't. No, I get it. If y'all have to jump off, you gotta jump off. I'm just telling you what I'm gonna do. I ain't telling you what you gotta do. Right? What doesn't get measured doesn't matter. Right? So that means in everything that you do with all of these systems, you have to have some mechanism in play. And also, guys, remember, I'm taking it into group coaching. I am going to continue to record it. So you will be able to see the recording as well. All right. What doesn't get measured doesn't matter.
So it's not important to you.
It's not important to you. All right. You have to, and here's another reason why you have to measure what you're doing. You got to know if it works, because if it doesn't work, then you need to make an adjustment, right? It takes us back to this slide. 6 principles for success, right? Number 3, pay attention to your results. Pay attention to your results. And number 4, be willing to change. If you're not paying attention to your results, meaning if you're not measuring if what you're doing is working, then you're not going to know if you need to change it or not, which means you're just going to keep. So that means if something's not working, you're just wasting time.
Yeah.
If you're not measuring it. So that's what we get here. How are you going to measure if it's working or not?
So my question is, how long do you take?
Great question. That's a great question.
A month, 2 months, how long?
I say you need to at least give 3 months, at least. You need to give it, but now within that 3-month window, you got to be doing it every day. You got to be consistent with whatever it is that you laid out that you were going to do. You got to be doing it for that time period, right? Mm-hmm. Something that you're doing once a month, you need to at least 6 months, like at least 6 times of doing it, right? You do it the first time, you capture your feedback. First pre-home buyer session, figure out how was the attendance, how was the people, you learn from it, you modify, do it again. How was the attendance, how was the presentation, what kind of feedback did you get? You modify, you do it again. It keeps going that way, right? After 6 months, you ask yourself, is it something that we should still be doing? We just recently had that conversation with the leadership at Brooks and Davis. we start assessing, should we keep doing this? Should we keep doing the mastermind? Should we keep doing the pre-home buyer session, right? You know, a lot of times it's yes, but, right? What that means is, yes, let's keep doing it, but let's make this adjustment.
Yeah.
You know, should we keep doing mastermind? Yes, but let's modify it. So now we're working on, before we start season 3 of Mastermind Through Tough Times, it's gonna be different, right? That's how the Real to Life podcast was born. The Real to Life podcast came out of the Create Your New Life. For y'all that have been here for a minute, y'all remember we used to do Create Your New Life. That was the thing we did on Tuesdays at 12:30, right? Every week. Well, we got for 5 years. We did that for 5 years, right? We got to a point, should we keep doing Create Your New Life? The answer was, well, what is it that we're trying to achieve? Consistent engagement with the agents, consistent engagement with Mike, you being able to utilize it to enhance our social media presence and imprint. Okay, well, we want to keep doing it, but let's modify it, right? And it was modified to the Real to Life podcast. Well, we did that because we measured the performance of Create Your New Life. We measured the performance of the mastermind and the results that we wanted out of it. We measured the results and the performance out of pre-home buyer session. All right. So now, when you pick those 4 or 5 streams of business, and you begin to put the systems and the processes in place, and you begin to execute them, right? And you give yourself a time period of 3 to 6 months. While you're doing it over those 3 to 6 months, you want to have something in place to where you can capture if what you're doing is working, if you're getting closer to the results that you want by utilizing those things, right? I'll use Laverne. Laverne is our head of recruitment. Her responsibility is to bring in new agents. One of the things that she does is, well, agent members and affiliate members. One of the things that she does is that there's a certain amount of contacts and touches that she's responsible for every week. She's responsible for 250, right? Well, every day she has to track how many she's doing, right? Every week she and I meet. Every week she shows me her spreadsheet. Did you get your numbers? If you didn't get your numbers, walk me through what you're doing. All right, let's make some modifications. I gave her a new modification this Tuesday. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make an adjustment in your script, right, to push us towards helping us better get our outcomes, right? I'm only able to have those conversations with Laverne because I have a spreadsheet to look at to measure her progress, right? So that's why we have to do that. All right.
How long will this coaching session last?
The group coaching session, it's slated from 2 to 3. But again, remember, I'm recording it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go.
Okay, yeah, I'm recording it. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take matter of fact, I'm gonna take a 10-minute break. So if you want to stay on, stay on. I'm going to continue recording it. But I'm going to send out some text messages for some people to jump on from the group coaching session. I'm going to continue. So I'm gonna pause the recording right now. But if you're on and you're going to stay on, take a little 10-minute break, get you some water, go to the bathroom. We're going to come back in 10 minutes.